Well, would you look at the weather? And I've got my leathers on. Unbelievable. Never mind. Of course, it's just started raining this heavy because I'm about to go home. And sod's law. Anyway, I don't care. Doesn't matter. I'm on my bike. I'm happy. Right. Come on tonight. I've not had a wee chat like this for ages. Partly because I'm using the Osmo Action now. And I've got to use the DJI 2 radio mic to set myself up. But that's okay. Means I can confidently go about in this weather and not worry about the camera, which is good. But much to talk about, and that's what I've come on for. I'm going to get drenched, so I might as well have a chat with you. I need to bring the car in tomorrow because the guys in the workshop are going to be doing a bit of programming on the old Land Rover. So, title of the video is looking at that big fancy Audi there with the no wing mirrors. Let's get the cameras instead of wing mirrors. Very cool. Trying to avoid holes in the road and stuff there. Oh my goodness, it's bucketing. Title of the video: 52 and broke, starting again, and Sarah's anniversary. Pretty shit title really, isn't it? Well, there's a lot to say. So let's talk about a few things that's coming up. First off, it's Easter weekend coming. This is Wednesday. I'm at work tomorrow, then off for 4 days, so I've got Friday and Monday bank holidays, which is awesome. And we will be doing, we as in Charlotte and I, will be doing the Easter egg run for the Glasgow Children's Hospital charity, which is the one that normally starts at Green Dyke Street in Glasgow, at Glasgow Green, and goes through the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, past the Royal Hospital for Children, and out to Braehead, which I think it's still doing this year. That will be my first Easter egg run in well over a decade without Sarah. Obviously I'll have Charlotte there, which is wonderful, but it'll be odd because it's completely different. Good, but different. I might stick a wee vial of Sarah's ashes in the glove compartment of my bike and kind of take her with me in spirit, which I think would be nice. Because she never used to miss it. She used to love it as well. And last year we couldn't go. Sarah was in the Beatson last year getting radiotherapy in her spine. She wanted me to go and do it, but I couldn't do it. So we didn't do it last year, and I spent Easter last year in the Beatson with Sarah. So that's happening on Sunday, and I'm going to be videoing that because it's a fabulous event and it's for a great cause for the sick children. So the other thing is something that I think is important and something I might want to bring up on the channel at some point by way of maybe a podcast or something. So I'm on the appeal for people that have started new relationships after losing someone now, particularly for the person that's entered the relationship. So if you, man or woman or gay, it doesn't matter. I don't care what you are, what gender you are, just if you have started a new life with someone who lost a partner, I'm interested to find out about the dynamic of that, about how it affected you, about the trials, the tribulations, the problems it may or may not have caused. I think it's an important subject and something that really doesn't get touched upon much. There's an awful lot of focus on me, the widower, and not a lot of focus on the people that have actually joined into that relationship and how it's affected them and how they've managed to deal with it. Because I mean, I still have a lot of troubling times, and especially with Sarah's anniversary of her passing coming up, I've had a lot of situations, a lot of difficult times, and Charlotte has been an absolute pillar of strength and supportive, considering that, you know, I'm still grieving. Grieving the rest of my life. It's going to be easier maybe every year, yeah, as my life develops and grows around it, but I'm still always going to be grieving. And Charlotte knows that. Charlotte expects that. She understands it. And that takes a very, very, I think, special type of person. She obviously loves me a lot, which is amazing, and I love her to bits. But it doesn't just take away the pain of what's happened. Sometimes I wish it did, but it doesn't. It really doesn't. So, that's a subject I think is really important, and I think it's a subject I'd like to explore by way of a podcast. So if you know someone that has been in the situation that Charlotte is in, where he or she, or they have entered into a relationship with someone who lost a partner, I'm interested to talk to them. They can tell us as much as they want to say, be as open as they want. But it'd be interesting to find other people's experiences and how they've coped or dealt with it. My mental health has taken an absolute hammering of late, and it's not just because of coming up to the anniversary of Sarah's passing. There are a lot of factors involved here. A lot of it's to do with my ex-family that I was part of. Not my own family, but the other family. It's really, really difficult. Really difficult. And I've got a little fan club of people that dislike every single video I do. And I'm fairly sure I've got an idea who they are, but you know, it's tough cheese, you know. Big wow. Give me a dislike for every video. Give me as many dislikes as you want. Get your pals to give me dislikes. I don't care. I make these videos for Charlotte and I make them for me, but now for Charlotte and I make them as a way of expressing things, of sharing my story. And if petty people want to dislike all the videos, then please just go ahead. If it makes you happy, go ahead. Get a life perhaps, but there we go. So that's that point out the way. So we've discussed the Easter egg run on Sunday. I've mentioned the fact that I'm interested in speaking to people in a podcast that are in our kind of situation, and from the new person's perspective coming into the relationship. On Saturday the 26th of April, which is the anniversary of Sarah's passing, we'll be going to Glencoe, probably late morning, and I'll be scattering. I've got 3 little bottles of ashes left, because Sarah's mum and dad took the ashes away with them down to England. And I felt as if I couldn't say no, because I had been made to feel so bitterly bad for living my life. I felt as if that's what I had to do to try and appease. But it didn't appease, it didn't make anything better, it just shattered everything for me. But anyway, I'm going up to Glencoe with the last couple of bits of ashes I've got. And I'm going to scatter them at Sarah's peaceful place, the place that she loved, just to commemorate a year. And a year, wow, that's scary biscuits. And then at 6 p.m, which is the time that she passed, I know this because I was lying next to her holding her hand at the same time. In fact, I was lying in her bed practically cuddling her. At 6 p.m, I'll be lighting a couple of candles and I'll put them in my window for the world to see. And big long candles. Other people are lighting tea lights, but I'm going to light long candles because I want them to burn until they're gone. And that will be my wee little way of marking that moment in time where that little light went out, it was extinguished. And yeah, it's a difficult period, a difficult time. And but before that happens, Charlotte and I will be at the St Mirren versus Rangers game, because my team my team St Mirren they've had an up and down season, but they managed to secure a place in the top 6 of the Scottish Premiership, which means they've got a wee chance to fight for a place in Europe. But for a small team with limited budget and etc., it's amazing the fact that they've achieved that 3 years in a row. And our first home game after that split is on the 26th. So the first game I went to after Sarah died was the same teams, St Mirren and Rangers at home. So I'm hoping that Sarah will give me a wee bit of, spread a wee bit of goodwill and encourage St Mirren to beat them. Sorry if you're a Rangers fan, but it's just the way it is. Incidentally, Sarah never came to a St Mirren game. She always said they were crap. She was very, very into Sheffield Wednesday and she had no interest. Which, to be honest, caused me a lot of bitter disappointment that she wouldn't come, because I went to Hillsborough whenever we could go to Hillsborough, which was very expensive. But I went to Hillsborough and showed support for her team, for Sheffield Wednesday, and I could never get her to come along. However, just before she died, I remember lying there in the bed saying, when I get better, she says, I'll get a season ticket and come with you. And I really love the fact that she said that. She knew she was never ever going to live to see that, but I think she said it just to put a smile on my face. And that was lovely and thoughtful. And it's something that's difficult to comprehend as the person that's still alive. The guilt for being alive, the guilt for living, the guilt for wanting to love someone afterwards. There was the times when difficult moments when we were told the final things. In fact, I was there with Sarah's big sister Lindsay, and getting told this horrible information that Sarah, this was it, it was just a matter of time and they would do everything they could to make her comfortable. And I remember Lindsay and I bawling our eyes out, trying to deal with this unimaginable pain, this unimaginable reality, I suppose. And Sarah's lying there stoic, holding my hand, comforting me. It's crazy, it really is. So there you go, that's a wee update, that's my reflections. And yeah, 52 and broke. One of the difficulties with mental health is coping with the loss, obviously, but having to start again, because I really am having to start again. I've said it before, my finances got absolutely slaughtered when Sarah passed. And it really, it can ruin a person, and it did me. And I've got to claw my way back up. And that was part of the big mental health block last year, was that I couldn't face that. I didn't want to face that. I didn't want to face the thought of having to claw my way back financially or face the problems that it comes with at my age, because a lot of people my age are sitting there mortgage free now, or they're just about paid off, or life's fucking peachy. And as I said, it was Charlotte that kind of saved my life, because she came back into my life around about August last year, when she started talking to me, and obviously I told her what had happened, which was a massive shock to her, because she didn't know anything about Sarah. Charlotte and I hadn't been in contact at all, I think, since about 2007. So when I told her my story, she was quite shocked, and it took her a wee while to actually come back and speak to me again. And that was when, she started being that friend, that shoulder to cry on, and spoke to me in a manner that made me realise that maybe there is a wee bit to life that I need to try and live for each day and get up and also. But I didn't see that at the time. All I saw was my wife's dead, I'm screwed financially, what's the point in going on? But yeah, here I am. And on top of that, I've still got the legal case going on. We're now 2 years and 8 months into this legal battle, and we're now getting to the point where the NHS have asked for the very last extension, which is probably due up around the middle of May, I think. And still waiting them to come back and admit any liability or not. And there's every chance they can come back and say, no, we're not liable, I'm screwed. I'm not expecting to get anything because Sarah died, all the case died with her, but, you know, I don't know. I really don't know. Closure is all I want now, closure. When I made a complaint about the district nurses when they really failed her at the end of her life, they did a big investigation, and I got a big long letter back detailing the investigation, admitting that they were so wrong in their judgment, that the person involved has been sent and on training and supervised, that they will be working more closely with the Scottish Ambulance Service to ensure that what happened to Sarah will never happen again to anyone else. That is closure. That is okay. It's shit that it happened. It's rubbish, but at least I was able to find a bit of peace in the fact that it had been acknowledged and dealt with, and that's all I want from the NHS. It's not about money. I've put enough money into it. I can't afford to put any more money into it. I can't afford to litigate. I've got no chance of that. So if they come back and say, no thanks, nothing to do with us, we didn't do anything wrong, then that's it. It's over. And they get away with everything. It's shit. So yeah, I mean, talking about starting again at my age, it's hard. I'm lucky. I'm lucky in a lot of ways. I've got a roof over my head. I've got my bike. My priority bills are all paid. And I've got an amazing woman that's come into my life and has helped me deal with my life and has given that pillar of hope, that possibility of happiness. Possibility, no, she is making me happy. That's sounded bad. Sometimes I feel guilty saying that I'm happy, but I'm still sad. I'm just making no sense at all. Mental health's such a bugger, isn't it? Really is. But yeah, I had to admit defeat and go to my GP yesterday and get help. So I'm getting help. No more counselling at the moment, but getting help. So there you go. That's my life of turmoil at the moment. What a night. Do you know what? I think my legs are wet. I think the water's seeped through my cloth bits and my leathers. But I don't care. See, being on the bike, it's just so good. It's so good for you. In this rain, do you know, I actually feel right now like just continuing. I could just go a run now. I'm not cold because it's 8 degrees, so I'm not cold. I've got my heated grips on and my heated seat, so I'm lovely and warm. I could quite easily just drive about in this weather and enjoy being on two wheels. It's such an amazing therapeutic piece of kit. And Charlotte gets that. She does now, because she's now become a biker. Well, a pillion biker, but she still loves going out on a bike. She actually said, oh, when can we get on a bike? When can we go on a bike? She loves it. And she'd never ridden a bike ever until she came to Scotland. So, yeah, just goes to show. Anyway, I've been rattling on and off. Oh, I should really save all this for podcast, but sometimes I like just talking to you when I'm on the way home. It's good. It's good to get shit said, and now it's been said, so here we are. I'm going home. I'll catch you all later. If you've listened this far, thanks so much for listening, and thanks everybody for your wonderful support. It's been absolutely amazing, and to the folk that keep disliking my channel, keep it up. It makes me laugh, it really does. Have a good one. Catch you later. Bye bye.